Okay, so for far too long I've played this game, and by the end of it, as I watch the credits roll, I feel nothing but indifference. But the last game I felt like this after playing it was Crash Bandicoot 4, and well, you all already know my feelings about that game. But if I can sum up those emotions that I felt after beating Crash 4, I can say all I felt was rage. But after completing Super Mario Odyssey, I can firmly say the feeling that I felt was, quite frankly, disappointment. And it honestly pains me to say this. I know this ain't gonna be a video about bashing Mario and dragging his good name through the mud, cause if you all know me, I'm a true Nintendo nerd. But my aim with this video is to point out the flaws that a lot of people who review this game say it's a 10 out of 10 out of 10 masterpiece just usually gloss over, but criticize and nitpicks other games that make the same exact mistakes Mario make in Odyssey. But why does Mario get a pass? Because let's be honest, it's Mario. So ladies and gentlemen, today I want you to take off those rose-tinted glasses, remove your cappy for a sec, as you and this Trini boy have a little civilized discussions about the things that we don't like to admit about Super Mario Odyssey.
Baba Bowie.
Well, this goes without saying, spoiler warning for a 6-year-old game. Either way, Mario have no story to spoil, but anyways, here we go. Alright, so let me get this out of the way right off the bat. But we gotta talk about these level themes. Cause for far too long, I've seen people bash prior Mario games and other games for reusing level themes. And I'm looking at you, Sonic. Because for years, Nintendo has relied on, well, the green grassy plain area for starting off, then going into a desert theme, snow theme, beach theme, jungle theme, etc, etc, etc. And we always end off in a big lava layer for Bowser. Alright, so I'm gonna give Cap, Metro, and Ruined Kingdom their flowers, cause they were unique and a breath of fresh air to the Mario franchise. But one thing I wanna address, what's up with the size of Ruined Kingdom? Boy, my apartment is bigger than that kingdom. You can see they wanted to do a little more with this kingdom, but I don't know, like they ran out of time or something, because this is barely a kingdom. Literally what I'm showing you on the screen right now is the kingdom in its entirety. A matter of fact, I'm gonna take back my flowers, because it took me way more time to type this part of the script than it takes to run from one end of the kingdom to the other. But one gripe that I got with these level themes are the names. Okay, y'all settle on reusing old level themes that y'all been using for past how much years. That's cool and that's fine. But the names, Sand Kingdom, Snow Kingdom, Lost Kingdom, Lake Kingdom, like geez, y'all serious with these names? Y'all could have taken 2 more seconds to come up with something better than that. Like, watch this. The Tan Line Kingdom Toast Arena. Okay, yes, I stole that name from Shanty and the Pirates Curse, but alright, watch this. Watch this. The Shiver Slopes Kingdom, Shiveria. The Castleville Kingdom, Crumbledon. You know, something to give the kingdom a little more identity and personality. Another missed opportunity was giving each kingdom their own national flag. Imagine Sonic Unleashed in 2008 got that right. And that's coming from the same game company that's less reliable than wearing paper towel for shoes. A little more time and care could have been put into these kingdoms to make them feel a little more fresh and new. Sticking with the theme of missed opportunities, let's talk about the familiar enemies. What we got here, Goombas, Hammer Bros, Frying Pan Bros, Chain Chumps, Cheap Cheeps, Bullet Bills. Like, come on now Nintendo, you're traveling around the world. Me, I personally find a Goomba in the Mushroom Kingdom should not look like a Goomba in the Sand Kingdom. I think this was a perfect opportunity to have enemy variants. Look, this ain't nothing new I'm introducing because you also did this as well. Let's talk to my boy here, Tropical Wiggler. Now he's something that I've never seen before, with his long ass body stretching all over the place was a sight to behold. I would have liked to see how the kingdom's ecosystem changes the enemy's appearance and characteristics. And I ain't just talking about a palette swap like the Cheap Cheeps in Shiveria. All we got was some Goombas when different happened depending on which kingdom they were in. But all I gotta say, this was a little missed opportunity here, and it made the game run the risk of looking a little samey in some areas. Speaking of something that was a bit samey, and to put it blunt, this was my main gripe with the game. The over-reliance on repetition. Let's look at Crash 4 for a sec. And just for a sec, because I think if I spend a little too long talking about this game, I literally get physically sick. But anyways, but in Crash 4, if you're looking to get all the gems in Crash 4, you're required to play certain levels about 6 times. And that's if you're looking to get everything in one shot. And let's be honest, that's easier said than done. So by the end of fully completing a level, you never want to see that level ever again in your life. And by the end of completing the entire game, you never want to see that game for the rest of your life. And this is where the law of diminishing returns comes in. So let me break it down for you simply. Watch this. This is me after playing a level from Crash Bandicoot 4 once. And this is me after playing the same level for the 6th time. So to put it simply, all I gotta say, the more I play the same damn thing over and over and over, is the less I enjoy it. Now you will ask, what the hell does this have to do with Mario Odyssey? As I say again, the more I do the same damn thing over and over, is the less I will enjoy it. And this may upset some people, but the way I see it, repetition is 90% of Mario Odyssey's content. Because the kind of challenges you're doing at the beginning of the game are the same ones you're going to be doing throughout until the end. Goomba stacking. The first time you're introduced to this is in the Sand Kingdom. You see a Goomba, capture it, hop on another one's head to stack them, and you just run around to look for the female Goomba to run some strong rays on her just to get a moon. Cool, simple, right? But then Nintendo goes on to do this 11 more times throughout the entire game. As I alluded to before, each time that I do this challenge, my enjoyment of it diminishes every time. Mind you, every time that you see these challenges, it is never expanded upon or made any more difficult. The only difference is that you did it once here, now you just gotta do the same thing over again, but just over here. Almost nothing in Mario Odyssey is ever done once. Everything must be done 5 to 17 times more. And let me give you some quick examples. Catching this rabbit here, done 11 times. Kicking a rock, done 5 times. Seeing a bird in a kingdom, hitting it and getting a moon, someone had the bright idea for you to do this 11 times. Planting a seed and waiting, which is the same gameplay mechanic as Farmville, done 18 times. Lighting a torch, 15 times. Ground pounding a shiny part on the floor, I kid you not, done 47 times. The most egregious one being in the Lake Kingdom. It is literally right next to the Odyssey ship. The only challenge that I can recall that was only used once was the volleyball challenge, and this challenge where you gotta shoot coins into a plant to get a moon, and calling that a challenge is a bit of a stretch. And the other one is what we Trinis like to call skipping, aka the jump rope challenge. And the funny thing about the first and the latter challenge that I mentioned, together with the final gauntlet stage on the moon, these were the time that I actually felt like I had the most fun with the game because I finally felt like I was being challenged. That doesn't mean that these were hard or anything like that, but that just goes to show you how easy the game is. And that's my next problem with this game, the lack, or better yet, the non-existence of a difficulty curve. I'ma be honest, there's nothing difficult in this game. The main objective of this game is to collect power moons, but when a little less than half of the moons you get by just seeing them out in the open or just talking to characters within the kingdoms. And it just baffles me that you could just be walking your merry way and boom, moon just there floating. These right here are the main collectible and the most prized possession in this game, and the only challenge to get these is just walking into them. There are a total of 102 moons acquired this way. 102 missed opportunities to put some kind of meaningful challenge to get them. Speaking of meaningful challenge, let's talk about these challenge rooms and these scarecrows. And well, let me be honest, there was no challenge detected here in either of them, especially the scarecrows. You throw Cappy onto it and a minigame obstacle will appear. And let me be honest, the challenge is done over before you could say a grandmother mother is a mother grandmother. Blink and you would miss it. They are so damn short and so damn boring. I can remember in the Luncheon Kingdom, which is one of the later kingdoms in the game, one of the scarecrow challenges is just a wall jumping tutorial. And what baffles me, it is this late in the game. And throughout the game from the beginning to the end, the level of difficulty on these scarecrow challenges, they never evolve from past just a few jumps and that's it. And then there are the challenge rooms. These are the only things that give you any kind of variety in this game. Most of them are basic platforming challenges or possession challenges with the moon waiting at the end. Also, there are extra moons in these challenge rooms, but 75% of the time they don't require any kind of skill to get them. The only skill you need to get them is really just having a working pair of eyes, and that's it. No extra challenge, nothing to make you feel like the moon is earned. The only instance that I could remember having one is in this chain jump cave. There was an extra part with an extra set of chain jumps to give you an extra challenge. If this was any other part of the game, you would have just walked through the part and boom, the moon was just right there. Why can't other challenge room be like this one? It just looked like Nintendo came out with the best at the beginning of this game and just fell off sometime after. And then I realized something. The whole concept of quality over quantity was in reverse with this game, being quantity over quality. Super Mario 64, Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 had 120 moons, but Super Mario Odyssey has 880 moons. Like, come on, why so much and you're already struggling to put 70% of them in any meaningful locations? And this same 70% that feels like filler, to be frank. The only reason I can see why the game had so much of moons is just to say that the game has a lot of content. But that claim falls completely apart because most of them isn't intriguing. From the level themes to the challenges to the difficulty of this game, I honestly think they were lacking in all departments. And what bothers me even more, after completing the game, these dormant moon cubes that you see throughout the kingdoms, when activated, they burst out and give you even more moons to collect. And at this point I'm thinking, well, this means that there will be more challenges and these moons are going to be a little more difficult, right? Right? And then to no surprise, the game just relies on the same Mickey Mouse Clubhouse level of difficulty, just giving you moons out in the open like where's the evolution? You are just basically doing basic platforming challenges and calling it content, and even yet post-game content. And when a game isn't copying the same task over and over, it is actually copying content from previous Mario game. You see this Rocket Flower challenge here in Shiveria, it was done way much better in Super Mario Galaxy 2 with Yoshi. Alright, so I don't want to be beating a dead horse and make it sound like Super Mario Odyssey is the Sonic Forces of the franchise, because quite frankly, it isn't, far from it actually. But I just can't wrap my head around how this game could be regarded as a masterpiece. It's good, yes, but in my humble opinion, this ain't no masterpiece. For me, this is the bare minimum of a Mario game, and trust me, I've played a lot of Mario in my lifetime. And yes, they achieved this goal with Breath of the Wild earlier that year, but they actually fumbled the ball with Mario Odyssey later that year. Cause for me, this game is the greatest missed potential. But hear this, one thing that my mother always taught me was if you're going to criticize, you better be coming with some good advice right after with it. So I just want to run through quick with some tips that could have improved the experience of Super Mario Odyssey. First things first, them kingdom names and the whole general presentations of these kingdoms. As I said before, give them proper names. This bare minimum madness that you gave us here ain't gonna cut it. If Nintendo was in charge of naming countries, plane rides to Trinidad would have go something like this. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have just landed in the Island Kingdom International Airport in Piaco. Please enjoy your stay. And on top of that, we ain't got no national flag. So long story short, you all could have just give these levels a little more of that Nintendo charm. Next, this game did not need so much moons. I think 300 moons was a great sweet spot for the size of this game, and having the moons being obtained through meaningful challenges that actually test the player on how to control Mario. Because Mario in this game controls as smooth as butter. Because doing a jump into a wall jump, into a hat throw, into a dive, and then sticking the landing is one of the most satisfying things you can ever pull off in this game. And I think with this moveset that Mario has, it wasn't tested to its fullest. Why should I be throwing a cap through a trail of flowers to get a moon in the beginning of the game and doing that same exact thing at the end? I know some of you may say, well, it's a children's game, but that's a flimsy argument. Because things like this came from the same company and the same franchise that give you levels like Champions Road, one of the hardest levels in a Mario game, and an array of other difficult levels. And I said it before and I'll say it again. In my humble opinion, Super Mario Odyssey is indeed one of the greatest missed opportunities in gaming history. But before I head out, one thing I want to touch on is why does Nintendo insist on not making their main characters in 2017 not be able to pet dogs?